Hey everybody, welcome back to the Grognards Corner, and this is Devin, your loyal and faithful host. And we are back taking a look at NATO, Nukes and Nazis, my continuing playthrough of XTR Corporation's game of World War III as it could have been. Made a couple mistakes in the last video, as I'm sure people who watch this series know I tend to do a lot. I want to point those out. The Beider Meinhof Toten Commandos were unable to conduct a terrorist attack in this London hex because it has to be done in a NATO-controlled hex. So retconned that and went ahead and moved them across the river into an actual NATO-controlled hex. So next turn they should be able to conduct their attacks. Also, there were a couple times when I was rolling for the Nazi friction on movement that I ended up rolling 2s and claimed that there was a no movement. 2 is actually half movement. So actually the few units that actually did end up having a chance to move, I went ahead and I moved them their half movement like they should have been. Fortunately, like I said, my opponent's pretty cool. He lets me retcon things like that and take back moves. I like my opponent. More people should play with my opponent. He's a really cool guy. So we're going to go ahead and jump into combat now. I wasn't really sure I was actually going to be recording the combat just because I thought, well, it's probably going to be long, boring, uninteresting. But I figured, I'll go ahead and do it anyways. Why not? People want to see the gameplay. This is a chance to see the gameplay. And if you don't like it, skip to the end or turn me off or something. I don't know. I'm doing it anyways. So, go ahead and start off with, not the holding box. We're going to go ahead and start off with our airstrikes, air suppression raids. Now, the rules are a bit vague, written on how exactly you're supposed to conduct the air suppression raids, if it's supposed to be a 1-for-1, if you're supposed to group them, if it's a one massive attack. Guys over at Constant World Board Game Geek recommend breaking it down into groups of 4 aircraft and then just going from there. So that's what we went ahead and did here. We've got evenly matched up, and then we've got one group that's not going to be intercepted. Since NATO forces are defending, I figure they get to pick who they want to fight against. So we've got the top number is the air superiority, second number is ground attack, third number is interdiction from top to bottom. So we're looking at 3, 6, 9, 12 there for their grand total air superiority, and the US are looking at a 3, 6, 9, 12 as well. So that is a 0 across the board air superiority. Neither side has air superiority. So we got 3 stacks that we're going to be rolling for. I think all 3 of them. I think all 3 of them are the same. We got 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, that's going to be 11, 11. So we got one stack at nothing. Let's go ahead and take care of that one. We get a 1. Ooh. 1 is a 1A, which is eliminate 1 attacking unit and abort 1 air unit. So looks like the NATO forces managed to get the jump on those Germans. So we got 1 that's just flat out eliminated, and 1 that's returned to the airbox. And so this next stack we're looking at 12 for the Germans against 11 for NATO. So it's a 3 on a +1. 3 is a abort, defender abort. It's kind of pointless because the defenders can't really do anything other than, I suppose, does it say moves them to the used box? I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Alright, so nothing there, and the next stack is going to be 12 versus no. That's only going to be 10. So that is a +2 air superiority for the Germans, and it's a 6, and it's a 2. 2 squadrons right there. Well, Canadians, Belgians, sorry. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and keep the Canadians. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Belgians. Let's get rid of 1 of the French units. Because I know the French are going to get more air reinforcements here. So it seems kind of a gamey thing to do, and I know other people out there will argue and disagree with me, but you might as well take the losses for things that you know you're going to get replacements for later in the turn anyways. All right, so we got 6 to a 6, so that's even air combat. And we've got a 3. It's a one-on-one. Both sides lose somebody. Okay. So, looks like actually the Germans kind of came out on the bottom of that one. They lost. It looks like I think they lost more than they inflicted. All right, now so we're going to do airstrikes, and that's going to be using the interdiction, which is the bottom number. So let's go ahead and shift him over there. So we got 246, and honestly, since we're going to be rolling on the interdiction tables here, a little separate chart. So we got 2468, 2468. 2468, 246. Okay, so we got three stacks at 8 and 1 stack at 6. So let's go 3 stacks at 8, which is going to be on the 7 column. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we got a 1, which is abort, which is not going to do anything. Because we're looking at the holding box suppression raid. And there is no... Oh, no, here we go. Eliminate 1 raiding air units there. Okay. So we lose 1 more German unit. And we got a 5, which is a D, which is 2 enemy aircraft destroyed. And we got a 3, which is an I, which is 1 enemy aircraft destroyed. And then we also have a roll on the 6 column, which is a 4, which is a D, which is another 2. All right, so NATO ended up losing 5 squadrons out of that, so let's go ahead and try. Let's go 1, come on, 2, 3. Let's try to spread the damage out a bit. Not going to be able to spread it out too much. 4 and 5. All right. So that they took looks like the Germans actually put some serious hurt on the NATO forces, but I happen to know NATO's going to be getting a butt ton of air reinforcements in the next turn. So it's not as bad as it actually looks. So that was the airstrike. That was the holding box raid. So now we'll go ahead and jump down right into actual combat itself. Let's go ahead and start over here in the UK because we really don't have that much that's going to be going on over here. Let's bring up the combat chart because we will be needing that. Excuse me. Still coming over that cold. Don't know why it's kicking my butt so hard. All right. Basically, the Germans are actually going to be very, very happy sitting here along on the south side of the Thames. They're not really wanting to push across the river too. Basically, they just don't have the strength to push. I mean, they think their biggest stack right here, that's 11 points. I mean, they could hit there to defensive 5. It's a 2-to-1. 2-column shift for the river, 2-column shift. Yeah, so it's like a 1 to 3 odds. I didn't throw any air support there. But what we do have is the 7th LS, which is let's see, I pulled out the chart here so I can actually read what the actual LS Luftstrom. 7th Luftstrom Division is attacking the 44th. So we got 6-to-1, no modifier, so it's going to be 6-to-1, which is really bad. 6-to-1 is a 2, not good. All right, 6-to-1, DAH. All right, DA is defender retreated. Remove 1 strength step from any 1 unit of the defender ground choice, then retreat all defending units in the battle. H, this little marker here, H, if I had a helicopter units that were involved in the attack, they would have taken a casualty as well, but no helicopter units. So, 1 step loss. Let's, oops. He's only a 1-step unit. He is eliminated, and I can go ahead and advance after combat. Now, since I eliminated a unit, that gives me some political points. And let us take a look at political index shift summary. Okay, each NATO each NATO one-step non-divisional ground unit eliminated, which it was, is a +1. So that shifts the political index up by 1 for the Germans. Don't get anything for capturing the airfield. You know, that airfield right there. Airfield's not worth anything. So that was actually a nice, pleasant surprise. Was not actually expecting that. Yeah, so no other attacks there. So let's go ahead and shift back over to the mainland, and let's basically just start at the top and work our way down. So we got the Panzerlehr heavy, uber heavy tank unit. I still get a chuckle out of that. I just can't wrap my mind around what a modern day ultra heavy tank would be like. Because there's no nationality out there, no country out there that's developed into them. I mean, they went the main battle tank, like I kind of mentioned in the last video. And there's a part of me that is very tempted to do a video on all the weapon systems that I think would have developed over the years to bring us to this point. I may do that, I may not. So we got the Panzerlehr is going to be attacking 6 French mechanized. So it's going to be 6-2. It's 3-1, but I've got some air support there, and we're using the ground attack, which is the middle number, and those act as column shifts. So we're looking at 3-1 initially. I get another column shift for having Panzerlehr for being the heavy panzer division, so it's 4-1, and then each of the flying wings gives an additional column shift. So we're looking at 5, 6, 7-1. Yes, odd shifts can get real big real quick in this game. So combat, we're looking at 7-1. 6. Ooh, DZD. Alright, DZ, defender routed. Reduce all defending ground units in the battle by 1 step, then rout all survivors. And this has that little moniker, had there for the defender. Had there been any defending aircraft there, they would have also taken a step loss. So, but there was not. Oops. So we just have the French unit takes a step. So we flip them over, and I'm not even sure what route does. I don't think I've ever seen. I think that's the first time I've gotten an actual route effect. I'm going to have to hit the rules for that because it's not a retreat. There's definitely a delineation between retreat and route. So DZ, rout all survivors, retreats, longer retreats, routes are conducted like the retreats described above, except route units must automatically retreat at distances hexes equal to their printed movement value. Wow. That is a lot. All right. So the printed movement value is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. Yeah, that's that unit just completely gave up all sense of standing on the line. Now my advance after combat. I don't think there's anything special for my advance after combat for a route. Better check that real quick. Retreats, long retreats, advance after combat. If a battle's result completely clears all the units of one side from the hexes, then at least one unit from the other side participated in that hex. Battle is still left in its original hex. That player owning the still in position units may immediately advance it any or all hexes just vacated by the other side. Alright, so it looks like I only get 1 hex follow-up, even though I completely blew them out of the water. Alright, so the Panzerlehr moves up. We're happy. The German High Command is happy with that. Let's go ahead and return those guys. So now let's look at here. We got 5th Panzer at 8 points going against 9th Marine, 9th French Marine. So probably be checking for... Yeah, okay. So I do have a supply unit there. Should be checking supply at the beginning of each one of these combats. So we got 8-3. That's going to be 2-1, 3-4, 5-1 with the air superiority or the flying wing support. So, oh, and let's see. I reduced a unit, and I believe. Oops. Let's go ahead and pull up the charts for political points. Each NATO full strength 2-step division reduced to step +1. Alright, so that gives us +1. I need to make sure I'm doing that. So that's another +1 political point. All right, so the 5th Panzer, we're looking at 2 to 1, 3, 4, 5 to 1. Oops. One of these days I'll actually stop accidentally hitting all the wrong buttons. All right, 5 to 1. Roll the dice. 2. DAH. All right, DA, defender retreated. 1, remove 1 strength step from any one unit of defender's ground forces, then retreat all defending units in the battle. Also has this little moniker of H. Had there been a helicopter attached to it, the helicopter would have taken a casualty. So, but there wasn't. There were just the flying wings. So they return to the airbox. They flip and retreat, and the 5th will go ahead and advance 1 hex, and that's another political point for a step reduction. All right, now we're getting into some not so quite even combats. We've got 8 from the 3rd Panzer. They're going to ignore those partisans, and we're going to go after this stack right here. Actually, do I want to do that? Let's see, what's the odds? It's going to be 8 to 4, which is 2 to 1, but then we have to shift for the city, so we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and take the 10th and the 3rd are going to hit here. So we got 16 versus 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. That's not really much better. Wow, I don't think the 3rd is actually going to be doing anything. That could prove to give us problems. I don't think I'm going to be able to blow a hole open in there. Oh, I forgot to mention, when I captured... did I shift points for... Yeah, I think Brussels should have given me 2 points, political points, kind of all over the board here. I don't think I gave myself the extra point. Brussels, since it's the capital of a NATO country, is worth 2 political points. I think I only gave myself 1 point each for Ghent and Brussels when I captured them last turn. All right, so 3rd, not going to do anything. Okay, we're hitting this shoulder here. So we're going to take the 10th, the 9th, and that's the nice thing. I'm not required to attack, so those guys can just sit there and hang out. 10th and 9th, and I believe we're going to throw the 6th in as well. So we're looking at 16, 25 to 8. And it is a mixed hex. 25 to 8 is 4 to 1. Just make sure I got the column shift right. For mixed is 1 column shift, so okay. So 3 to 1 plus 4 flying wings will make it a 7 to 1 odds. Now you're seeing how important ground support is. So 7 to 1. Oh, we rolled a 1. Not good. Let's bring up the chart. 7 to 1. DMA. Uh-oh. Okay, DM, mobile defense. Remove 1 strength step from any 1 unit of the attacking ground force. Then retreat all defenders 1 hex. And there is the subscript A here, which means I will take a ground support air unit loss. However, flying wings always ignore, you can always reduce the amount of casualties flying wings take by 1, so they actually will not take any casualties. Had those been attack fighters or something else, then yes, they would have taken a loss, but the flying wings have that special ability where they can ignore 1. So the attackers lose 1 step, which will actually give NATO 1 point back, and all defenders retreat. Yeah, much as you know what, let's do the mechanized is going to take the casualty. All right. So now let's take a look at the Belgians. The problem is, I believe the Belgians here, this is the first mech, are out of supply. Let's see, where's the U.S. supply? They're about the only thing they can draw from supply. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they can draw supply from the U.S., so they're okay. So basically, these 2 guys here, the CW, I'm fairly certain is Clausewitz. I love this chart that they give to explain what all the unit names actually are. CWS, Clausewitz. So Clausewitz, Armor, or Panzer, and 8th Mechanized are going to go ahead and hit the Belgians. So it's 14 to 3. which is 4 to 1 odds. Did I want to throw those guys in? Yeah, let's go ahead and throw the second as well. So those 3 guys there, 21 to 3, 7 to 1 odds. Yay, we like 7 to 1 odds. Of course, I'll probably roll a 1 again. 5. Okay, so DZ, defender routed, reduce all defenders. They're already reduced, so that is an eliminated. And that actually, let's take a look at our political chart. Each NATO reduced division eliminated. So that's a +2. So that'll give us 2 more. Whoops. That'll give us 2 more political points. 1, 2. And let's see. The Clausewitz will go ahead and advance. We've got these 2, the 11th and the 5th, are going to go ahead and pincer the Portuguese, poor Portuguese here. And of course, they've got line of supply to the U.S. So 14 to 2, 7 to 1 odds again. We're looking at a 4 this time. 4 is a DE, defender eliminated. Reduce all defending ground units in the battle by 1 step and retreat all survivors. I believe, yep, this is just a 1-stepper, so it is eliminated, which gives us 1 more political point. I think we're going to have the 11th move in. Okay, now, FH, it is, what is the FH? The FH, Feldherrnhalle. They and the 1st and the Adolf Hitler Panzer Division are going to hit the 4th French Armored. So we're looking at 13, 23 to 3, 7 to 1 again. 5, DZ, routed, reduce. Okay, so he flips, which gives us a political point, and routes his full movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think the Feldherrnhalle is going to go there and close the gap. Now, what else do we have? So the SS finally actually did something, seeing as how they did so poorly last turn. W1 is, what are those? That is Viking, the Viking division. They're not going to do anything. DL is Deutschland. Deutschland and JP. What's JP? Joachim Piper. So Deutschland and Joachim Piper. I could do a 17 to a 6, which would be a 2 to 1 odds. We're not going to do that. We are, however, going to take Joachim Piper and these brown shirts. So 4, 5, 6, 14. And we wanted to hit these Spaniards. That's right. So 14 to 9. That's actually a 1 to 1. However, we got the helicopters. And the nice thing about the helicopters is that they provide 2 column shifts. So we're looking at 6 to 1 odds against the Spaniards. The Spaniards can draw supply back to this supply right here. So 6 to 1. We're looking at a 1. Uh-oh, DMA. All right. So DM, mobile defense. Remove 1 strength set from any 1 unit to the attacking ground forces and retreat all defenders. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and lose one of the brown shirt divisions. So let's eliminate that. And I believe that is definitely going to be political points for NATO. Let's see. It is a reduced division eliminated. So, yeah, 2 points back for NATO on the political chart. 1, 2. That's one thing you really got to keep your eye on. A lot of stuff affects the political chart. Really got to keep an eye on the political chart. So, and then I got the A result. I don't think the A result also, it might also affect the helicopters. Let me check the chart real quick for combat. Okay. A is one ground support air unit. Eliminate one attacking ground support helicopter. Okay, so, yeah, we don't... Ground support air unit. What is the definition of a ground support air unit? Does a helicopter fall under the definition of a ground support? Because if it does, I believe then I'll have to lose the helicopter, even though it wasn't an H result, because it is a ground attack. Ground movement, air power, air superiority, interception, ground support, interdiction, yeah, ground support, okay. Yes, I do believe that a helicopter does fall under the ground support. So we're going to have to lose a helicopter as well. So we'll go ahead and pull those, shift those, eliminate one, return the others to the air box. We eliminated, and they've got to... Did I roll a DM or a DZ? I rolled a DM, so they got to retreat. You know what? They're going to go ahead and fall back each into the city. And what do I want? Do I want to try to... I got my own movement coming up, but... You know what? Yeah, let's not follow up. The SS have no intention of really following up. Basically, if I shift this unit into here, he's going to get violated next turn, and then we're going to have this big, huge hole. So no, we'll go ahead and keep Joachim Piper Panzer Division right there, right where we want it. All right, we're getting down to the end of combat, folks. Let's go over here. We're looking at Strasbourg. We've got LB. And I'm looking at more of these designations just out of a Lebensborn, out of a historical interest on my own part. It's like, what is that actual... So, name... Okay, so that's Lebensborn. And we got a couple... Or we got the SS Polizei Division. Let's see, what the hell is that? I don't even think they list the SS, the actual police SS units. Not going to worry about it. All right, so we got 10 to a 3, which is 3 to 1. Unfortunately, it's going to be attacking across the river into a city, which is going to be 1 to 2, but we've got 8 column shifts because of the helicopters, which brings it back up to 7 to 1. So... Oh, geez, a 1. Wow. Okay, I think High Command is about ready to put a moratorium on any SS attacks because they have overwhelming superiority and been flubbing it every time. So DMA, mobile defense. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and reduce the SS division, the Polizei division, which will give NATO 1 point back. And then they're forced to retreat. Unfortunately, they're in the city, so they don't have to retreat. And we lose another helicopter unit. Yeah, that, I can only imagine what SS headquarters is thinking right at this point. Because for the most part, the SS have just done nothing. So much for the Übermenschen. Anyways, we've got, let's see, what do we want? Do we want to try to hit there? It's going to be 6 defense. Oh, yes, you know what? We're going to the Germania Panzer Division. Yep, we're going to take these 2 stacks and we're going to pour them into Mulhouse. So we got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 to 6, 3 to 1. Now, I don't have to worry about attacking across a river because stacking units is already across the river. But I am attacking into a city, so that's going to make it 3 to 1, 2 to 1, 1 to 1. I'm not sure if we want to do that. But let's see, we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 5. Yeah, without the air support, that really bites. Plus, they're in a city, so the chances of me actually forcing them to retreat are slim to none. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to push into there. I'll probably end up doing more damage to myself than I will to them. I believe that's going to do it for combat. The Wermacht is very pleased with their performance so far. They have managed to blow open a hole 60 kilometers wide. They're very, very happy with that. The SS, on the other hand, have not really pushed beyond their starting lines at all. You can just kind of imagine what the schism between the SS and the Wehrmacht are at this point. The problem is a lot of these NATO forces are going to have to shift rapidly over here to try to plug this gap, and unfortunately we're going to be looking at the exploitation move, and so yeah, we're going to be seeing just an explosion of German units. Yeah, that's going to be rough. But we're going to save that for next time. Got all our combat done. German turn 2. Hope everybody enjoyed. You know how to get a hold of me. Let me know. Questions, complaints, comments. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you hated it. Can only make videos that y'all like. If you don't like it and you're not saying anything, I can't do anything about it, boys and girls. So, you know how to get a hold of me. And I'll talk to y'all next time. Stay safe.